We're following breaking news from Capitol Hill this afternoon. Within the past 30 minutes, we've confirmed Minnesota Representative Tom Emmer has now dropped out of the race to become Speaker of the House. This comes just 5 hours after the GOP conference chose him over 8 other candidates and made him the official nominee. Well, since then, Emmer's been meeting with his skeptics behind closed doors in hopes of swaying them so he can secure the 217 votes needed to win the speakership. NBC's Alice Barr joins us now from Washington. Alice, I know this is just breaking now, but what are you hearing about Emmer's decision? Did he just not have the votes?
Well, it's another head spinner here on Capitol Hill. No sooner had he been picked than he's out. And what we've learned is that there was a kind of a linchpin moment here where former President Trump went out on his social media platform and slammed Tom Emmer's candidacy, saying that he had never respected the power of a Trump endorsement. What we know is that Tom Emmer was one of only 2 House Republicans who voted to certify the 2020 election results, victory of President Biden at that time. And that is something that former President Trump and his allies have not forgotten and clearly have not gotten over. So essentially, allies are saying that already Tom Emmer knew that he was going to have an uphill climb to try to win over some of the further right members of the House Republican Conference. He's really squarely in the moderate department, and that once that Trump Truth Social post hit directly after he was named the nominee, that really made the dominoes fall. And then shortly after that, he decided he was going to have to back out because he knew he wasn't going to be able to get to the number needed on the full House floor in order to actually be elected the next Speaker of the House.
Alice, that's really interesting insight there. You know, we have been without a speaker for quite some time now. There have been now 3 Republicans who have tried for the role. So what happens now? And is there any sense that any member of the GOP can get to that magic 217 number?
That's what's becoming increasingly difficult to see the path toward. What we've been told is that a couple of the people that were part of sort of the round robin of voting earlier this morning, when they went through several rounds in order to pick Tom Emmer, some of those names will be voted on again. But those are people who came in second to the guy who then realized, second, third, maybe fourth, whatever, to the guy who then realized he didn't have the support. So it becomes tricky to see how this is going to get cleared up. And what we have essentially is a House Republican conference that's deeply divided, and the factions are holding out against, maybe one side is holding out against a more moderate candidate, and some of the moderates holding out against a more conservative one. And it's just difficult to see how this gets squared away.
All right, and important to note, no House work can really get done until they figure this out. So Alice, thank you for that.